is. There we go. There we go.
Feels like we got a nice fish on there, kids. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. I'm your host, Jay Baver. On today's show, we're going to join On the Water Magazine publisher Chris Megan and editor Gene Bourque for some lighthearted competition as they take out the spinning rods and take advantage of some of the fantastic early season trout fishing that we have here in New England. Then we're headed to Rhode Island off of Beavertail Lighthouse, where we're going to join Howlin Wolf Charters for a fluke fishing adventure. Now let's join Chris and Gene and see who reigns supreme in the battle of the spinning rods for tiger, brook, and brown trout. Each spring in New England, trucks loaded with feisty trout stock ponds, lakes, and rivers, and this provides some of the best fishing of the year for the following weeks. Some of these fish are even put in at trophy size, so if you're persistent and lucky, you just might catch one.
You know, it's funny how people, so many fishermen think of Cape Cod as just being a saltwater destination, and we have such fabulous freshwater fishing here. There's hundreds of ponds, most of them are these kettle ponds that are very, very deep and are spring fed. And the water stays cold for most of the summer, at least in the depths where the springs are, and it's almost perfect trout habitat for pond-type trout fishing. And we're very lucky. We have some great fish in here.
Well, I've noticed over the years that that secret's starting to get out on a Sunday afternoon, going back over the Bourne Bridge or over the Sagamore.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the bass boats and a lot of the small skiffs with a small engine, and they're coming down and starting to realize it. But you're right, though.
There's some terrific freshwater fishing, and you know what I think one of the best parts of it is when the saltwater gets going, and I'm certainly guilty of this myself, I just kind of abandon the freshwater, and that's a mistake. But if you are a freshwater angler, you prefer to be in the freshwater. There are very few places, I think, around, at least in southern New England, that have as good trout fishing as this without the crowds. Because as soon as that salt water gets going, everybody beats it to the beaches or out in their boats, and they leave the fresh water alone.
It is. So it doesn't see the same pressure that some of the, like Wachusett, I grew up not too far from Wachusett, and that would receive a whole lot more pressure than a place like this.
And of course, since they some years ago they did away with the opening day fiasco. I mean, I know some people have kind of warm, fuzzy feelings about the tradition of opening day, but the statistic I read when they abandoned that was they figured almost 90% of the trout were caught within the first week of opening day. Now, with the pressure spread out, you know, people just have a better chance. There we go. Oh, there he is. Yeah, good.
Just saw him flash there. They're in here. It's like a small brookie. There we go. Nice little brookie. Looks like it's a male brookie, a little darker than the rest of the. Yep. Little fella. We're going for the big boys, though. I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy go.
Now that he's gone, I can catch all the fish. There we go. There's one. There, come on, you. See, I told you, as soon as Chris left, I knew I was going to start catching fish. I knew it. All right, come on, pal.
Beautiful.
Going right on, man. Yeah, that's all right. Nice little brookie. Nothing wrong with that.
Nice brookie, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. There he is.
Most of the male brookies will go darker like that, won't they, Gene?
Yeah. And of course, this water here is so tannic that they'll get even darker, you know, after they've been in here even longer. Stay cool, Mr. Fish. Usually, come on. There he is. Yeah, just a little brook trout here. Whoa, and away he goes. Okay.
The slow retrieve, just let that. The spoons aren't really falling too deep, but the luck that we had is that slow retrieve.
Ooh, that one's a little better. Yeah.
Nice
That's
fish.
a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better trout. Watch out, because we got the 4-pound test on here. Ooh, there he is. He's fat. He's not long, but he's fat.
Nice size to that, huh?
Yeah.
Right behind you, there you
All
go.
right. Brown trout. Okay, here he comes. Oh, I love the way they put brown trout and rainbow trout and tiger trout. Woo, that's a
There we
nice
go.
brownie.
Here's a hook.
All right.
Just got a whack there too, right when you were landing him.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, doubles. Love it.
Here we go. Oh. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. And here we go. Another beautiful fish. Start to get an idea. Whoop. Try to give you an idea what those tiger trout look like. They're very active, the trout. It's a cross between the brown and the brookie. And the brown trout that Gene had just picked up, very similar, dark fish like that, but if I had hung on to them a little longer, you would have seen them. Hopefully you saw the spots on the side of it. And down below, a little bit of the striping, but the tiger trout is a great fighting fish. We're gonna go back out and throw it out here, see if I can get this one a little closer to the camera. But you try to be as gentle as you can with these trout when you're out here, so that you don't end up, if you're not gonna take them home, they're able to swim off. But beautiful fish, the tiger trout, something else to catch.
Whoa.
Get this!
Look
He
at him
can't
go.
get up.
Look at him go. He can't get up. Whoa. Wow. Look at that. That's the best fisherman of all, boys, right there.
Gene and I were just working this bowl down in here, and I was just about to throw in the corner, and that osprey took my fish. Moving into my water.
Oh, here he
Like
comes.
Gene
Here he
said,
comes. Look.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can't even get altitude, the fish is so big. There we go, there we go. Just hooked up. Nice fish. Got a 4-pound test on this. And they put some big fish in. I'm not gonna. You can see that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the big hook jar on that. Big brown trout. I can't see it yet. Let me just get it in a little closer. Oh, that's a tiger. Look at Look at that, I'm gonna bring the net around on this guy. Easy, big fella, easy. Oh, there you go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Beautiful fish. Just some incredible size to him. That's an absolutely gorgeous fish, isn't it? I'll let him swim off. Looks like at one time or another he might have had some problem there with some line. You can see the back end, the way the back end is developed there. Maybe something got around him or so, but we're gonna go ahead and let him go. Let me just hold on to his tail here and see what he does as far as swimming away. Come on, fella.
Now we're headed to the waters around Newport, Rhode Island, where we're going to be fluke fishing off of Beavertail Lighthouse, the third oldest lighthouse on the Atlantic seacoast. We're going to join Howlin Wolf Charters, where a couple of fluke newcomers are learning why these fish are gaining a newfound respect for their aggressiveness and sporty nature. The blues legend Howlin Wolf inspired Captain Bruce Macomber for the name of his charter business, and today his 38-foot lures would be taking our fishermen through historic Newport Harbor. One of the most distinguishing landmarks leaving the harbor is Fort Adams, originally built during the Spanish-American War and once home to the submarine net tenders during World War II. We'd be fishing near Beavertail Lighthouse, now the oldest working lighthouse in the country.
Well, targeting fluke is a fairly specific fishery, although they will take a number of baits. I prefer the loud splashy approach. These are some custom rigs we make using an offshore, this is typically actually a tuna skirt made for daisy chain teasers, a bunch of beads, and some flashy blades like that. Fluke are kind of, they're an aggressive predator. They have a reputation as a dormant bottom fish, but they're a pretty aggressive predator, but they're almost blind. So that's why you need a lot of stuff to get their attraction. So as this thing flutters back down, you have a long strip bait, a long banner of bait hanging off it. You know, you really need to get their attention. Once they key in, they're really aggressive and very effective at hitting it. In fact, if they swipe at a bait and you miss it, drop it back, and almost always they'll hit it again or retrieve it slowly, and they'll come right back after it. But they are almost blind, so you have to get their attention in a pretty significant way. If you're ground fishing, you have to get the bait to the ground. So I have a philosophy where, you know, you use a standard three-way swivel. One eye goes right to your line, and then the duo lock snap here goes to what, in most cases, people would just put a hunk of lead on there to get you down. But I'm of the opinion that if you're going to have a hunk of lead on there to get it down, it may as well have a hook and a bait on it. So that's going to increase your chances of hooking up. And in fact, quite often, you're going to get the bigger fish on the bucktail or the shoot jig that you've got weighting your rig down. You'll get more fish on the splashier presentation, but quite often you get your bigger fish on this thing. Don't want to go down.
Yep. All right.
Derek, is this your first time reeling a fish in? Tip up, huh, little man?
Hey, we'll see. It's feeling like a fluke. Let's see.
Bony?
Feels
A hard feel to it?
you know.
All right.
Nice. All right. Now there's a fish, Josh. All right. It's a beauty. What are we thinking, Captain Bruce? How big is that?
About 18, 19 inches.
Okay.
Legal size for Rhode Island is 16 and a half.
Okay.
The size that we keep on this boat is 18.
Is that good? Good eating there?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Makes the grade or not. Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect.
19-inch fish. The best flesh is on the white side, but that's the thinner fillets. So you give it a feel. And it's got good back meat, a little thin on the white side, so we probably end up keeping the white side for bait.
Okay.
But good flesh off the back. I think he'll go in the box.
I think he's smiling at you.
Yeah, it's smiling. You know, the thing about Fluke is they have a reputation as a dormant, bottom-feeding fish. They're real aggressive predators. I mean, he's got a set of teeth on him
Oh yeah.
that any fish should be, you know, any predator fish should be proud of. You gonna get this one, Mike?
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Derek, you still telling people you're Newport's #1 male model?
Oh, that must have been the...
This is a fluke.
J-Libs, it's all about frequency, power, and another fluke. Look at that beauty. Okay. Libs, I'm on #2 already, and it's another fluke. I can feel it. Steady in. J-Libs, it's all about frequency, power, and another fluke. Look at that beauty. All right, good work. All right. Woo! Excellent, another fine fish, huh?
Derek, I know you reeled that one in, but someone else set the hook. How do you count that? What do you have to say for yourself?
I couldn't possibly comment on that. Crank and reel. All right, there we go. This is a nice one. Woo! All right. How's she look?
To our personal boat standards, but nice fish.
Derek, did you pop any blood vessels in your forehead reeling that guy in?
Seriously.
Take off in a pretty spectacular way. All excited and everything.
All right. Feels like we got a nice fish on there, kids. Oh yeah, it's a beauty. Here, over.
Slow on it. Make sure you get a good shot before you net him.
Good. Good. All right, nice.
That's a better fish.
Yeah, it's nice.
There you go. Nice fish, Derek. We're on the Howling Wolf fishing charter with Captain Bruce. He's teaching us the technique. It's obviously effective. Coming up to the surface here. I don't think we need the net for this one, but he's kicking. Touch your fingers. Thank you.
Little guy.
All right. A little bit of a fight there. Oh, here she comes. Here's another beautiful fluke aboard the Howling Wolf off the coast of Jamestown, Rhode Island at the Beaver Tail Lighthouse. You're watching On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England.
Thanks for watching today's episode of On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. If you'd like to learn more about trout fishing and fluke fishing, visit us online at onthewater.com. I'm Jay Baver, and we'll see you on the water.